effortless, and you can see my shoulders are relaxed, and even when I put the power to it, it's just the sticks are doing all the work, right? So real like I'm like this. I'm like this. Very little, even with the heavy sticks, very little effort. So I'm playing with no tension. It's the same whether you play a guitar, a bass, a piano. Piano's the worst for tension because you got to press things down. With the sticks, what gets you is when you tense up, you try to force and you can't do it. So you have to let the stick do the work, and that's just experience. Like that'll just, one day I'll just, I won't be able to put newbie drummer in the title anymore because it'd be like, okay, I've gotten too good. Now the first 6 months, that's not going to happen. And I've already talked about that in previous videos where, the first 6 months of any instrument, you're going to suck. But for the first 6 months, here's what my regime has been. Just work on getting solid beats. And yeah, I do these videos and I get people, criticize or whatever. But I get a lot of really good, like the people that aren't there just to say I suck, which I don't care about that. If it makes you feel better, go ahead. You know what I mean? Knock yourselves out. But maybe out of like the 10, you suck, I'll get one guy, okay, here's what you're doing. You're doing good here, but maybe try this instead of that because it'll develop this problem and that problem. Or maybe, hey, try this instead of that. Over that, each one of these techniques, there's no wrong way, but maybe you'll find one that works better for you, and move this here, move that there. And you guys have been really good with that, and that's why I post these newbie drummer videos, is not to razzle dazzle you with my playing, but more to get critique. And my plan has paid off very well on that. And just adjusting things. Getting everything at the right height. I really do find this drum kit is very well spaced out, very relaxed to play. Some people might say this is a little too close, but I do a little trick between that, hitting the two. So I kind of want to leave that there. And when I get another cymbal, I'll see where, I'll have to relocate my triangle, whatever. But basically, the first 6 months was, okay, learn enough. Yes, I use Drumeo, I use all that, and the fundamentals. I would tell, like 6 months ago, I would tell myself, keep doing what I'm doing. And I'll tell you why. Because to start off with the fundamentals right away, month 1, month 2, might be too, and I've heard more experienced drummers say that, don't jump into the fundamentals too early. So what I did is I did about half out of the 40 fundamentals. I'm up to, I think, fundamental 17. And when I got to fundamental 17, I was like, okay, well, I've got enough to work on. Like the first 10 fundamentals will keep you going for a month, and just to understand what you're doing, right? The other, like you could literally take a fundamental a month, and just hone it in. And I've heard this critique, dude, never mind getting fancy, just do one thing for an hour straight. If you're going to play for an hour straight, just do the, just work on that for an hour straight. Tight or whatever. Like I say, the foot is the last thing. That's what I think. I think that's what makes a good drummer, is how good he is with his foot. Now, mind you, yesterday I was trying the double bass pedal with work boots on. Just a little tip, even though I'm a newbie, I'm going to tell you, playing drums with work boots on, no, it's not going to become a style. It's just, no, it doesn't work. Big clunky boots. I was hitting the hi-hat and the slave pedal at the same time. It was kind of funny. But the thing is that for the first 6 months, I just been doing, I'll just do some. First off, got my hearing protections. And I like it too because it sounds better with these on anyway. But just, like the... I got some of the. Here I'm doing some rim shots and stuff like that, even with a. Bad with the rim shots, working on techniques and stuff like that, but I don't want to do too many rim shots because I only have 2 pairs of sticks and I'm very far from a music store. I want to pick up about 3 or 4 more sticks, and I want to have a set of sticks that's just like, okay, these sticks, if I break them in a week, I don't care. I've had those 2 set of light jazz sticks, and oh yeah, the jazz. You can probably hear it that it where the sloppiness is still, and this is something I've just as an observation, and a lot of you guys will say, yeah, and I had that, I struggled with that too, is am I basing my timing here off the bass drum or the hi-hat? And when you're kind of sort of switching back and forth in your brain is, oh, who's following who, that's where that little out of timing comes from. So kind of going off the bass drum a little bit, but then you start listening to the hi-hat, and suddenly you're now trying to get the bass drum to follow the hi-hat, and my brain still hasn't kind of gone, okay, everything's compartmentalized. The bass drum is the bass drum, the hi-hat's the hi-hat, snare is snare. It's easy to follow the snare a lot of times just because it's just so dominant, right? So, yeah, so just getting kind of comfortable with playing is the first 6 months. Have fun. Don't take it too seriously. As long as I'm learning fundamentals, playing relaxed. Like I said, I rearranged the drum kit until it was completely ergonomic for me. And I don't see myself changing the drum kit around very much. Unless I add something that's in the way of something else. I do like this. It's nice and low. I look at other people's drum kits and things up here. And sometimes that has to do with, coming off the, I'm kind of glad that there's no, it's not like the pearls. I like the pearls, don't get me wrong, but, I'm glad that I can move this over here. I can move it, the stands. It's a lot of like this. There's vines and vices to everything, but I think I like the stands better because, like this is almost where the second floor tom would be, but not quite. But this weird 9x12 just doesn't fit over the 22-inch drum without it being up here. You know what I mean? So I like the way I got it. I like the way I got it. So now I will be getting back to the fundamentals and really drilling myself on it. And my goal is to, for say month number 7 that I'll be going into, is to start the fundamentals all over again, see if I can get through all 40 of them for the month. I don't care how well I do it. That's not the point. The point is to familiarize myself for what I'm going to be doing. And then at least once a month for the next 6 months, I'll probably break it up into, say, 4, you typically got 4 weeks a month. So 10 fundamentals 1 week, 10 fundamentals the next week, 10 fundamentals the week after, 10 fundamentals the week after, right? And if I can get 10 fundamentals done in one day, fine, But the idea is not just to go through them, but to really learn them. And if I can do that once a week, 10 fundamentals once a week or whatever it is, get through them, and just do this every month for the next 6 months, so that I know roughly, I think it'll take 2 years before it's the fundamentals will be ingrained, where you just know where to put it when you're in the song. It's like yesterday, I've been I played guitar mostly yesterday, a little bit of bass, a little bit of drums with the other guys. But I had my buddy playing the bass there, and I said, "Here, you do this," and I started doing sweep picking, right? And I've been working on sweep picking and working on sweep picking and working on it and working on it, and it sounds like a dog's breakfast forever and a day. Then all of a sudden, I found in maybe about the past 3 or 4 weeks, I'm doing like Jason Becker style, at concert volume, where you're loud and everything's kind of intense because of the volume and whatever, and in the mix with a band, it's like here's here comes these nice sweeping arpeggios, and I'm like, and it just doesn't seem hard anymore. It does, like, it's not like, okay, I have to concentrate to, I don't have to. It's just more now muscle memory taking over, and that hasn't happened with the drums for most things yet. Like there's some things that seem to, this hand obviously is my strong hand, so it seems to be the first one in leading the team, followed by this, and then the foot will be last, right? Now, I want to get going on a double bass pedal fairly early too, but one of the reasons why I want a double bass pedal is that you can actually practice the fundamentals. Just sit here, forget all the other drums, just sit here like this, but with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, like one of the fundamentals where I think it's the sixth.